So if you've been on Twitter in the past couple days, then you might have seen people posting about this Australian guy streaming himself on YouTube trying to break the record for staying awake the longest. I think his name is like Norm or Normie, I don't know how to pronounce it. But as the days went on, people started to get more and more worried about how this was affecting his health. If you Google how long sleep deprivation torture is, it says up to 180 hours. And this kid was pushing 260. He is literally torturing himself with the help of his friend who was keeping him awake. And of course, like I said, this got people more worried about his health than anything. You can look up just his name on Twitter and there are a bunch of clips being posted about him, and almost everyone is saying the same thing, like, this whole Normie situation where his friend is forcing him awake is disgusting. That's not a friend, that's a criminal. Get him to the hospital. End this right now. And I'm not sure how true this is, but it says even the Prime Minister of Australia is like, end the challenge, mate. Crikey, you gotta end the challenge. He's like, first one of our breakdancers shits the bed. Now one of our YouTubers is killing himself live? Can we catch a break, people? Like, there are literally people asking others to contact the police if they know who this guy is in real life because they are that worried for him. And you can look at these clips and almost all of them are this dude slipping in and out of consciousness. At some points just falling on the ground because his body is like, dog, what the fuck have we been doing for the past 200 hours? Lay the fuck down, son. There is part of me that thinks this is slightly fake. I'm not sure how they do it. But in this video posted by Deserto, it shows this guy barely being able to stand up at 229 hours in. But then there's another clip taken from 7 hours later, and this dude is able to do a typing test astonishingly well for someone who was barely able to stand on their feet hours before. And actually, this tweet right here has 4 videos, all of them from after he started to pass out, and he's literally doing fine, other than sounding like he's drunk, but he doesn't sound like his insides are eating him alive. But hey, that's all I got, so I can't really prove anything. The funniest part about this whole thing, though, is that so he titled his stream Awake for 12 Hours World Record, assuming that he googled what is the longest time someone has stayed awake and said, alright, you're coming in second, buddy. But he didn't do any of that and apparently pulled that 12-day number out of his Australian asshole, because on one of these clips that was posted, community notes were added to it saying the record for most time without sleep is not 256 hours as described in the post, but 453 hours and 40 minutes set by Robert McDonald in 1986. A whole 6 days longer than what this kid thought it was. Now, after doing some research, I will take back what I said about him not Googling anything, because he did. He just didn't click on anything further than that. So if you Google longest time someone has stayed awake, for some reason, this guy comes up. Randy Gardner. And just by looking at this, you would think he has the record solely because of this 11 days without sleep picture. I can guarantee you this Normie guy saw this and was like, 12 days? Easy. Not realizing that if you clicked on this one drop down arrow right here, you would see the actual record that was set 22 years after the 11-hour one. So even if he did stay awake for the whole 12 days, it would only be a matter of time before someone said, hey dumbass, unless you think you live in 1965, you didn't break shit. And I say even if he stayed up because YouTube, realizing the long-term health effects this could have, banned his stream. And he even says 12 hours away from my goal, I'm crying right now. And it's like, why? You literally stayed awake for 6 days less than the actual record. Let me know when you do 6 times less than what the first person got and you still get treated the same as them. I don't think so, buddy. At this point, you're just a guy who tried to end his life in front of 1,000 people. And he would have too, thinking that 12 days was the record. He should be thankful he didn't die, because with how ruthless Twitter is, they would have been on his ass for being 6 days off. But yeah, guys, do not try this, because unless you're under the care of some actual medical professionals and not someone who is gonna poke you with a fucking broom to try and keep you awake, then just try and break some of the easier records. I mean, look, we got the tallest toilet paper tower, fastest bed making, most Pokemon identified in a minute. I know for a fact some of y'all can break that one. Until then, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.